Darius Johnson walked into the courtroom with his head held high. A well-dressed, confident businessman, he had been falsely accused of fraud by a competitor trying to ruin his career. He had full faith in the justice system until he saw who was presiding over his case. Judge Martha Reynolds had a reputation. Though she had never been formally accused of racism, rumors swirled around her courtroom. People whispered about how she always ruled against black defendants, how she gave them harsher sentences, how she seemed to enjoy belittling them. Darius had hoped the rumors were just that, rumors. But within minutes, he realized the truth. From the moment he took the stand, the judge's tone was different. "So, Mr. Johnson," she said, tapping her pen against the desk, "tell me why a man like you would need to involve himself in such fraudulent activities." "A man like me?" Darius frowned. "Yes, a man like you," she continued, her eyes cold. "We both know how this story goes." Murmurs rippled through the courtroom. Darius's attorney, a young woman named Lisa Carter, immediately objected. "Your Honor, with all due respect, that statement is inappropriate." Judge Reynolds waved her off. "Sit down, Ms. Carter. I run this courtroom." Lisa clenched her jaw, but obeyed. Darius, however, was not one to be intimidated. "Your Honor," he said calmly, "I don't appreciate the implication. I am an honest businessman, and I am here to clear my name." The judge smirked. "Honest? That's questionable." The prosecution had barely started presenting its case when Judge Reynolds interrupted. "I've seen enough," she declared. "Frankly, I don't believe a word you're saying, Mr. Johnson, and I'll be honest, people like you make me sick." A stunned silence fell over the courtroom. "Did she just say that?" someone whispered. Lisa Carter shot up from her seat. "Your Honor, that was blatantly racist and completely inappropriate." Judge Reynolds scoffed. "Are you accusing me of being racist, Ms. Carter? Be careful what you say." "I don't need to accuse you," Lisa shot back. "You just showed everyone exactly what you are." The tension in the room was suffocating, but what happened next turned the entire situation upside down. As the courtroom sat in stunned silence, the doors suddenly burst open. Two uniformed officers stepped inside, followed by a man in a suit. James Whitmore, the state's judicial oversight investigator. "Judge Reynolds," Whitmore announced, "please step down from the bench." The judge's face turned pale. "Excuse me, I'm in the middle of a case." "Not anymore," Whitmore said. "We have been investigating multiple complaints against you for abuse of power and racial bias. And after what you just said in front of an entire courtroom, there's no doubt in anyone's mind that you are unfit to serve." Gasps filled the room. "This is ridiculous," Judge Reynolds shouted. "I am the law in this courtroom." "No," Whitmore said firmly. "The law applies to everyone, including you." One of the officers stepped forward. "Judge Martha Reynolds, you are under arrest for judicial misconduct, abuse of power, and violating the civil rights of multiple defendants." They pulled out handcuffs. "No, you can't do this," she screeched. "I am the judge." But no one was listening. As the officers cuffed her hands behind her back, the entire courtroom erupted in whispers and murmurs. Some people cheered. Others shook their heads in disbelief. Darius watched the scene unfold, barely able to process what he was witnessing. Just 7 minutes ago, this woman had tried to humiliate him. Now, she was the one being escorted out in disgrace. As she was dragged past him, their eyes met. "I'll get out," she hissed. "And when I do, You'll do nothing," Whitmore interrupted, "because your career is over." With that, she was gone. Justice prevails. After Judge Reynolds was removed, A new judge was assigned to Darius's case. Within minutes, the fraudulent charges against him were dropped. Outside the courtroom, reporters swarmed him. "Mr. Johnson, how do you feel about what just happened?" Darius took a deep breath, then looked straight into the camera. "Justice was served," he said simply. "And for the first time in a long time, it truly was."